All right, so just cooking up some breakfast here. Gonna head out to the grocery store, try and take you guys with me. I don't know how that's gonna go. I go to this market. It's like a Whole Foods market. It is a bit of a drive, but around here, I just can't get the quality of food that I want. So I'm Canadian, we don't have like a massive selection from like Whole Foods or Sprouts or like the typical things that you have in the US. So it's a bit more of a trek to find stuff like that. Like Superstore has a lot of it, but like the grass-fed organic meats, that kind of thing, they don't really have the best selection, really, if any. So there's a lot more like local products, locally raised meats and things like that. And then that's where I get my sourdough, which is the most important thing that I'm going to get today because I literally don't know how to function without it. My breakfasts absolutely suck when I don't have my sourdough. So this place actually makes it correctly. And so, a lot of the places around here, like at Superstore, Safeway, that type of place, they use enriched wheat flour, which is, I don't want to be having that. So it's worth the drive, better quality ingredients, better quality stuff. So that's what we're gonna go and do today. Gonna finish this up, eat breakfast, and then we'll head on out. I talk about with my clients quite often is just doing the inconvenient things until they're no longer inconvenient. When I first started eating this way, 7+ years ago, it started off with me not knowing what I was doing and just trying to be healthier. So I cut out gluten and I cut out dairy. That was like the first things, which by the way, I no longer do. But I cut those out because that's what I thought healthy was, and it was inconvenient, but I looked for the gluten-free options and I did the thing. And then it evolved over time, year after year, of me eating more whole foods. So I kind of started switching away from, I guess I went from the gluten-free, dairy-free thing into the fitness community and fitness industry where it was like protein powders and protein bars and all this artificial shit, and not prioritizing whole foods. It was just a bunch of packaged stuff for the sake of macros. Whereas now I track macros, of course, but it's really centered around whole foods. Just because you track macros doesn't mean that you have to find all the macro-friendly options. Your whole foods are the most macro-friendly thing that you can find. So for me now, that's what it's about. It's whole foods, very animal-based, but it took me a while to get there. And like the point in me saying this is that you can't expect to completely change overnight and change your diet and change the way that you do things. It does take intention and effort. It doesn't have to take years of time, but it is going to take time, and it's going to take intention and effort to find the new ways to get groceries, the new places, try out new brands, try out new products, different things, like find the organic, find the grass-fed, and it's really worth it. My grandpa was an organic farmer, and so he took a lot of, it's kind of a disadvantage, to farm organic because obviously you can't spray your crops with a bunch of shit. He was very passionate about it, and that was my family farm, and that's kind of what I grew up from. It was really important to him, and that's why he stuck to his guns with it. And to me, that showed, his belief in the organic and eating healthy, and kind of opened up my eyes at a very young age to what the world really is, who runs it, who's putting shit in our foods and why, and who that pays and what it does. So that's a long story and something I can talk about, but moral of the story is like, do the inconvenient things until they're no longer inconvenient. It takes time to build a new grocery list, and even like finding a new way to go throughout the grocery store, a new path. It takes time to like memorize that path in your brain. I know exactly what I'm getting every single grocery order because it's that simple. It's like I'm getting a few protein sources from meat, I'm getting my good quality dairy, I'm getting fruits, and that's pretty much it. Right? My sourdough bread, like other than that, that's really all I get. So again, it takes time, but you got to be willing to put in that time if you want to be healthy and not just hitting your macros and then feeling like garbage even though you're hitting your macros. Like, it's not just about hitting your protein, it's not just about distributing your carbs and your fats, what are the quality of those carbs and fats and proteins? You can hit your macros with whole foods. You don't need all the macro-friendly options. I'm very much here to switch the industry back to what it really should be, which is health and wellness included with your physique-based goals. And again, it doesn't have to be all these products and pre-workouts and fucking powders and products and macro-friendly this and that. So that's my little rant on that. All right, so I want to show y'all how I make my coffee at home, because I think that there's a lot of people in the fitness space who have influenced you to go to Dutch Bros, go to Starbucks. What's the other popular one? Can't remember the other one, but there's a healthier way to do it at home without all the artificial sweeteners, all of the bullshit ingredients, better quality ingredients, and it's very, very simple. And keep in mind, I was someone who used to drink regular coffee, so I would always put silk almond creamer in my coffee, and this was one of the top 3 culprits of why I had skin issues. The gums that are in this, you're made to believe that this is a good product and that it's good for you because it's not dairy. And it's not. There's nothing about this that's good other than the fact that it's not dairy. So instead, what I started doing was buying really good quality creamer. So this is what I use. It's organic Jersey cow cream, half and half. If you are in the States, you can probably get raw milk, raw cream. But you can also probably get any sort of like A2, something like that will digest a little bit better, where they haven't stripped all of the enzymes out and the nutrients out of the cream and the milk. And that's usually why people have issues with dairy, is because of the quality that they're buying. So when I switched to this stuff, a lot of my skin issues started going away. My digestion is fine on it. And then I also have an undisclosed source of cream. It is heavy cream, so I actually mix these two. But if you are someone who likes just regular cream, then just go with the half and half. This is very high calorie in comparison, so that's why I mix the two. This is a little bit lower calorie. This would be just crazy to add a shit ton to my coffee, because I am someone who likes to sip my coffee, so I like a full thing. So I don't just want to put like a little tablespoon in with my espresso. I want like a latte, so I've got to have a little bit more in there, which is why I continue to use this, even though I have this. All I do is I take about 40 grams. Oh, that was way too much. Now, if you are just using this, you could probably do something like 60 to 75 grams. And then, like I said, just a scoop of this. Usually it's about 30 grams as well. 30 to 35. And then here's the thing. This is literally all you need. 12 grams of maple syrup. And then if you want, you can put a little bit of vanilla extract in there, just to give it a little bit of flavor. I personally don't usually put this in, but I want to try it today and figured I'd give you all the idea in case you like the vanilla flavor. Completely all natural way of sweetening your coffee. I don't like super strong coffee. I like a little bit of sweetness to mine. And you don't get all the bullshit ingredients. So that's all you have to do. I'm gonna pour this first, obviously, and then I just froth this up. Once that's frothed, I just pour it into the espresso.